Hi there, welcome back to IT Genius Hyper. Once again, another tutorial, and it's nearly to take you through. For all those who have not subscribed yet to our channel, please just go to YouTube and hit the subscription button plus the bell icon as well, so that you receive all the instant notifications on our channel. In this tutorial today, let me be straightforward. In this tutorial today, we're going to look at installation of server-based softwares and what we're actually going to use for PHP programming. Remember, in the first tutorial, I told you that PHP is a server scripting language. So we need a server-based software to help us run the PHP code. It's not like HTML, where you just type a code maybe in any text editor, Notepad, and you really run it in any browser, say Chrome, say Firefox, say Phoenix, say any browser out there, say Brave or whatever it is. So in this tutorial, we're going to look at server-based software installations and what we are going to use specifically. So it will depend on what software you want to install, but let me show you quite a different softwares that I have here. Moment. Okay. All right, as well, you see here I have my SQL connector, my SQL installer community. We can use this. We can use Wamp or Xamp servers. We can use any that according to your preference. But right here I'm going to go on with Wamp, and it's what I'm going to use currently. So it will depend. Sometimes you see me using Wamp or Xamp, any, so that all the viewers can really get to know, or can really get an easier view about what we are talking about. So I can still take you through the installation method for Wamp or Xamp. It depends on actually what you want to use. But right here, I'm going to go on with Wamp, and okay. So this is welcome to Wamp server 2, setup reset, and next. Then accept and agree. I hope everyone knows how to install a software on the PC. So I'm not going to repeat this, so I'm going to go on and click cancel because I have it already installed. But the other thing I want to warn you about is that don't install 2 server softwares at once. Because first you're going to get complications in the ports, in the Apache ports. Apache ports. The likes of Xamp, it requires an activation of Apache, then activation of my SQL server. So in case you are really interested in using one server, in using 2 servers, then I'll really not recommend you to do that. You should only use one software at a time. Otherwise, you'll get problems in differentiating the ports, because Wamp will be using that very server, and also Xamp would like to use that very server. Unless otherwise, you'll have to differentiate the ports, and you have to give them all, assign them to a different port that they will not coincide with. So let's say you're done with your installation of the Wamp server. I'm going to provide those. I'm going to provide these zipped files or softwares. I'm going to provide these softwares in the description of this very video, so that you can get them. And if you don't happen to see them, you can still go to the Wamp server website, and you download your specified download all software. It depends on actually what you want, because these ones I have 32-bit and 64-bit software. So it depends on actually your operating system is. So you go to this PC, then properties, then get to know the system type or the architecture of your operating system. If you're running a 32-bit, then you can still put a 32-bit software or installation software. Otherwise, if you're running a 64-bit, you can still put a 64-bit software or as a 32-bit software. So with 64-bit operating system, you can install both, but with a 32-bit operating system, you can't install on a 64 operating software. All right, so I'm assuming you already installed your Wamp server there, and it's well and running. So each time you're going to use, or each time you're going to code in any text editor. Remember last time I told you to install a text editor. I'm using VS Code. So in case you have Sublime Text, in case you're going to use Notepad, in case you're going to use any other text editor, then wait a moment. All right. So in case you're going to use any text editor, well and good. For any line of code you're going to run in PHP, you have to activate Wamp or Xamp or Mamp each and any time you're going to run it. And when you activate it, it will always show you that either offline or online down here. So you go to the notification panel and find it, then you'll get to know whether it's on or off. And for this language and everything, it depends on the language you're using or which you're really familiar with. So you switch to that. I'm going to go ahead with English because it's what I'm using right now. Yeah, and if you need maybe about page or anything, you can go to about and blah 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 stuff, but that's not our main concern here. Yeah. And the other thing I want to clarify on, after your installation for Xamp or Wamp, you go to your C, your local disk C, right here. So you will always see a folder named Wamp or a folder named Xamp or a folder named Mamp. It depends on actually which software you have installed. If you have installed Wamp server, then you have Wamp. If you have installed Mamp server, then you have Mamp. If you have installed Xamp server, then you'll see Xamp. Yeah, but the difference comes in that if you're having Wamp installed just like me right here, you'll have to open it up. Then you'll see where you're having a folder named www or www. Then you open there. So this is where you're going to put or save your code. Yeah, initially there is an index.php, and that's the beginning of the localhost dashboard. So you shouldn't delete that in case it's really relevant to you. So don't delete it. But if you're going to write any line of code in PHP, you have to save your code in here. So it's really so good so that you just put a folder here to a folder here, then you name it what you want. Then in here it's where you're going to put your new text file, and you name it .php or whatever it's going to be. Yeah, so to read files or to read the code you already made, it's going to be under www. I said once again, you go to this PC, then local disk C, then Mamp, Xamp, or Wamp, whatever it is, then open up. For Wamp, it will always have a www folder, and that's where you're going to save your entire code. For Xamp, it will always be a Xamp folder first. Then within Xamp, you'll see a folder named htdocs. Yeah, named htdocs, and it's where you'll put your code. It's where you save your code. Okay, but for this case we are using Wamp, so we shall save under Wamp under www into this folder here. Okay, and make sure whenever you're going to run PHP code, or whenever you're going to code, or whenever you're saving, or whenever you want to run your code, Wamp is started first, or Xamp is started first, whatever it is. But for Xamp, there is a difference that when you start Xamp, you always have a Xamp control panel, and you have to activate the Apache option or checkbox plus the MySQL option or checkbox. Yeah, you have to activate those two for Xamp. But for Wamp, just run it and you'll always see it here in green. If it turns green, then you're well and good. If it doesn't turn green, then you're not on the right track. So in our next tutorial, we're going to look at the first code in PHP. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.